Welcome back. You're listening to Bridge Brunch with me, Al Jackson, with you here through till 12 o'clock for another hour or so. That was Santana featuring Michelle Branch with The Game of Love. We're going to be joined in a few minutes in the studio by Councillor Patrick Harley. First, though, regular listeners may remember we were joined on Bridge Brunch a few months ago, just before Christmas, I think, by Bill Etheridge, who organises the Black Country branch of the campaign against political correctness. And when we last spoke, at least, Bill was an active member of the Conservative Party. Well, Bill joins us again this morning. Should be on the line now. Morning, Bill.
Good morning.
You've made a few waves this last week or so, Bill. I think it'd be fair to say you've been all over the national press, Daily Mail, the Sun, the Telegraph, the Star, the Times. In your own words, Bill, could you kind of briefly describe why that is? Why you've been getting this kind of attention last week or so?
Yeah, gladly. I mean, it's going to sound, I think, rather amazing that so much attention has been drawn to something, but I think it proves the point we were initially trying to make. Before Christmas, as part of the activities that both myself and the wife get involved with the campaign against political correctness, we posted up a couple of photos on Facebook, quite simply, just holding in our hand golly dolls.
Okay.
And it was part of what we try and do in the campaign is we discuss issues. We believe that to discuss something is the key thing. We weren't saying bring back golly dolls, or it's the best thing since sliced bread. We were saying this is an item that political correctness has affected the perception of down the years.
Okay.
I know I'm a lot older than you, but when I was growing up, it was just considered a nice toy, and I'll be perfectly honest, in my mind, I was brought up in a very multi-ethnic part of Wolverhampton.
Yeah.
In my mind, it was never crossed my mind that it was offensive to any of my black mates who I was hanging around with at the time. And obviously over the years it's changed, and there's a very vocal group of people who are strongly against even having these things on show. So as part of our discussion, we've had these photos up, and really it was a cue to say, let's talk about it. How do we all feel? We've got thousands of people who follow us both on Facebook.
Okay. And
it was all part of the campaign.
Yeah.
We were given a quietish warning by the local Conservative Association, which we were both involved with at the time as candidates, that it wasn't what they would consider appropriate for us to be discussing this matter.
Okay.
And particularly as we were candidates, they asked for us to withdraw the photos, which we did, simply because if you are going to stand for a particular party, you play the rules and follow the line. Didn't agree with it particularly, but okay. That was before Christmas. Since Christmas, on 3 separate occasions we've had people come up to us, a couple of times unofficially and once very officially, within the Conservative Party, demanding that we withdraw these photos.
Okay. And
on each occasion I said, okay, don't understand really why you're being so intense about it, but they've gone, they were gone before Christmas.
Yeah.
And on each occasion that was accepted. But then, on March the 18th, I know it well because it was my birthday, we received an email from Conservative head office suspending us both for a period of 30 days and basically saying our conduct in being involved with campaigning against political correctness and with particular reference to the golly dolls was not consistent with being a Conservative and may well bring the party into disrepute.
So presumably someone's kind of reported this then?
So, well, it says that there was a complaint from within the local party, but it didn't say who, and nobody had actually complained directly to our faces. So we'd been warned that it might be an issue, but no one had actually said, I'm deeply offended by this, could you talk to me about it?
Yeah.
So when we received the suspension, we were both incredibly unhappy about it, and from our point of view, we didn't want to be part of an organisation that was prepared to stifle freedom of speech and debate without even asking us our point of view on it. So we left with immediate effect.
Okay, so you're now no longer a member of the Conservative Party. You've sort of decided to resign, having been suspended.
Yeah, within 10 minutes basically of being suspended, the decision was taken that we weren't going to accept that kind of iron fist from the centre, and when we resigned, my wife has moved away from frontline politics, so to speak, altogether, and I've gone and joined UKIP.
We said, Bill, you and your wife posted these photos. What is it you were actually trying to say by posting these photos?
What we were trying to say is that there are certain issues in society that you can no longer discuss. Now, a gollywog toy is a very frivolous, small example of this, and I hardly think it's been worth so much national attention. But the point is, this was a toy which has caused so much controversy and problems. We can't even discuss the merits of why it might be considered offensive. Let's talk about this. I mean, personally speaking, I've never in a million years considered that I would go and flaunt something like that in front of a black person. And I actually am more inclined towards the point of view that maybe we should not be pushing these things forward, but I believe we should have the debate, and that's all I was on about, was freedom of speech.
I guess what some people might have got anxious or perhaps annoyed about, Bill, do you kind of appreciate the fact that the gollywog was, and I guess still is in many cases, kind of used as a means to kind of racially abuse and demean people? I guess that is the case, isn't it?
Oh yeah, I mean, I have witnessed when I was younger, and I haven't witnessed for a long time because I think we live in a more enlightened society in general nowadays. But I've witnessed times when it's been used as a term of abuse. But that was again brought about. I think there's a lot of ignorance in society. And there was much more then. There still is now. The way to combat this kind of prejudice and ignorance is to talk about it. And I felt very well prepared to discuss it because I know in my heart I am got a racist bone in my body. It's just not me. So I felt completely comfortable to raise this issue, knowing that I'm not that way inclined.
Do you? I mean, if you were kind of trying perhaps to take the stigma out of what the gollywog represents beyond being a doll or a badge or even just the image of the thing, do you think you've gone about doing that in the right way? Do you think you've adequately sort of got the message across that you wanted to get across?
Well, I wasn't really trying to get the stigma out of what the gollywog represents at all. I wanted to discuss in an open debate with people why there is a stigma. I want to bring, it's not just this issue that we focus on in the campaign, as you'll know from when I was a guest previously, but we believe that the best way of moving past prejudice, moving past these things that divide us all, is to openly talk about them and understand each other better, understand why some people see gollies as a harmless, inoffensive toy, and understand why other people are so incredibly indignant about them, and maybe by discussion, move forward together rather than having these entrenched, bitter views about certain subjects.
So I think you said there, Bill, I believe you're now intended to stand as a candidate in the May Council elections for UKIP, the United Kingdom Independence Party. Is that right?
Yes, indeed, yeah.
So why UKIP? Is that kind of an easy switch from the Conservatives?
In general, a lot of their policies are more in line with my personal beliefs, and particularly on Europe. I believe in a referendum. But what was more the case is that, I mean, don't get me wrong, UKIP don't at all wish to associate themselves with gollywogs. They are very much of the line, which I think most of the parties would be, that this is something that maybe belongs in the past. But what they are prepared to do is allow someone like me to freely debate and discuss things within a party framework without someone from head office in London clamping down in a sort of semi-Stalinist manner, telling us we aren't even allowed to speak.
Well, Bill, I'm sure we'll hear a lot more from you in the future, and perhaps we'll get you along to the studio again, and we'll have a bit of a wider debate about this. But thank you very much for your time this morning, Bill.
No problem. It's been a pleasure. Thank you.
And are you set to appear in any more papers or anything as far as you're aware?
Well, if I do, I hope it'll be about some different issues. I'd like to have a broader debate rather than just being tied in with this one particular thing, which I think has completely, in a way, got out of control, really.
Well, Bill, thank you very much for your time this morning.
Thank you.
Cheers. That's Bill Etheridge there, who, as we say, organises the Black Country branch of the Campaign Against Political Correctness. People may remember Bill joining us in the studio not too long ago, so I'm sure we'll be hearing more about that. studio@thebridgeradio.net if you'd like to make any comments this morning. You can give us a call, 01384 821025. That's 01384 821025, or drop us a text message, 07716 711 744 is the number. All you need to do is pop the word bridge in your message, leave a space, and send that